Alright, so let's check out my new Suomy helmet. This is the Track-1. First time. Ooh, look at that. That's a good looking helmet there. I've been waiting for my Suomy tinted shield. That blue iridium. So let's go ahead and swap out the old shield, so you should just be able to just pull these little tabs on the side and it releases. Let's see. Tab forward, snaps right in. It's a sweet looking helmet there, that visor. Alright, Moto Maddox here. What I wanted to do is kind of do a quick helmet review. I've now collected 3 lids, so I've never done a helmet review, so I wanted to go over a couple of the helmets that I've had a lot of riding experience with, as well as my new helmet. You can see this beautiful Suomy in the middle. But kind of going through the history, my first helmet was this Bell Star helmet. This is the one I actually took my motorcycle foundation safety course in. This Bell helmet is a really nice helmet. It's the Star version, like I mentioned, but it has something called MIPS technology, MIPS. And so on the inside of this, there's a little thin kind of layer that kind of helps with rotational forces and reducing those rotational forces. There's not too many times where an impact is kind of straight in one direction. It's normally coupled with some rotational forces, so that's what that MIPS technology does. You can see the construction, nice air vents at the top, also at the kind of eyebrow level, and also at the chin, nice chin vent. So it does vent really nicely. One of the cool things about these Bell helmets is they have what is called the Panovision lenses or visors, and so you can get a variety of these Panovision lenses. I believe this was like an iridium one. I don't do any real riding at night, so you can see all of my helmets have these tinted shields, but this one has been my tried and true. One of the cool things about Bell is like it, you know, this little release. Of course, when I'm trying to demonstrate it, it's a little difficult. Yeah, you just kind of push those little tabs in and slide the visor forward, and then pretty simple to swap out. Let's see if I can't get this connected back in quickly. Yeah, and just like that, it's kind of back in. that's a good time to maybe take a look at the Ruroc. So this was the second helmet that I purchased, and I really like the design of the Ruroc. It's pretty light. The cool thing is it actually came with a clear and dark visor out of the box. With the bell, it comes with a clear visor, but I had to purchase the tinted one separately. With Ruroc, it comes with both, but you can see this is the earlier model. So this is an Atlas 1. Maybe hard to see, but I'll maybe zoom in. You can see even swap the visor, you have to use a tool. So this isn't really good for if you plan on being out all day and you want to have a tinted visor during the day and you think you may have to swap to a clear one at night, unless you have that tool. I mean, it's just a little small little tool, but you just have to make sure you have it so you can swap that out. You know, and you contrast that with just you know, no tools needed for the bell. Let me see if I can connect this. Get this snap back in properly. There we go. I heard a little click there, so it seems like there we go. So you can see that the you know, the bell is pretty simple. Yeah, so that's a couple of the differences between the Ruroc and the bell. Another thing with this Ruroc, since this was the Atlas 1, you know, they've made continuous improvements. I believe they're up to like an Atlas 4. So this one vents a lot of air. These side vents are actually real, I believe, on some of the subsequent Ruroc models. This is just cosmetic because folks kind of complained about wind noise. So I actually like to use this when it's 75, 80 degrees or more because I get lots of airflow. One of the downsides is you get lots of airflow, so you know, if you have trouble with you know, maybe tearing up with a lot of wind, that could be a problem. This bell is pretty solid. I mean, they've been around for a while, so this has been my go-to workhorse. Fit and finish is pretty top-notch, and you can see this is actually the helmet that I first started doing moto vlogs on. So I actually have this setup of a combination of attachment points for my GoPro Hero 11. I used to have a Hero 8 on here, but it works well for both. With this Hero 11 Mini, I had to add this little extra audio adapter piece, so you can see it's all kinds of stuff sticking to the side of this bell. And I'll have to do the same thing if I want to set up kind of video and audio capture on the Suomy. And I did get a chin mount attachment for the Suomy, so shout out to chin mounts. You know, when I first set up my bell, I did not know that chin mount had all these custom attachments, which makes life a lot easier. So I'm going to eliminate all of these components that you can see here that I needed to attach to the bell. I'll probably leave the Ruroc as just a standard helmet, so I won't attach any audio or video capture mounting components to this helmet. Oh, the other thing about Ruroc, I forgot what they call this latch mechanism, but it's not the normal double D rings that we're used to. This one has a Fidlock, so that's convenient. It's printed right here. So essentially, it's really easy to connect and disconnect. You can see it's a little magnetic latching mechanism, and really quick release. So that's another thing to consider. You know, if you have trouble with the normal D-ring kind of connections where you have to route, you know, the strap through the double D-rings, then you might want to consider Ruroc. I'm not too sure many other manufacturers that have this Fidlock mechanism, but it works pretty well. And you may think that it, you know, will be easy to come off, but it doesn't. If you kind of search the internet, you can see lots of tests that folks have done, just trying to make sure that this actually behaves in a similar fashion or exceeds the kind of latching performance as the normal D-ring. Okay, well that brings us to the latest and greatest helmet in the Moto Maddox collection. And that's my new Suomy TX Pro. It's a Track-1. So Suomy is an Italian manufacturer, and the cool thing about Suomy is that the actual 2023 MotoGP world champion Francesco Bagnaia actually is wearing this helmet. So you can see it has heritage in actual MotoGP racing, and this helmet is really light. So this is my latest and greatest. I'm going to try to take it out for its maiden voyage today. One of the other important things that I kind of totally skipped over talking about all the other helmets are the certifications. So this bell, if I'm looking at the back, is a DLT, which doesn't really tell you much, but it also has a Snell approval, and also mentioned that MIPS technology on the bell. For the Ruroc, it has the ECE standard, the R2205, which kind of steps things up a bit. Of course, the DLT for all the folks in the US that need that default standard. But this Suomy is the ECE R2206, so it's really the latest and greatest standard that's available. Really nice construction. I like this graphic, particularly chose this graphic. One of the things you may notice about my helmets are they're pretty high vis, you know, so both of these have kind of a white base. This one, a yellow base with a nice clear graphic. So, you know, for safety, I do try to keep those high vis helmets on deck. As far as ventilation, nice vents at the top, right at the brow, and also there's a chin vent that you manipulate from the inside. And again, keeping with the Moto Maddox style, you can see this beautiful tinted visor. This is a custom color combination. I actually had to order this visor from Italy. So yeah, I'm excited to test this Suomy helmet out. Moto Maddox is now Team Suomy. So shout out to the folks there. So yeah, this also has the standard D-ring. I don't have any trouble connecting that. Fit and finish is really nice. I think this is the lightest helmet that I have. So we'll get geared up, take it out for a ride, see how it performs. I'm not gonna put the GoPro connections on here just yet. What I'm gonna do is order just a second set of Purple Panda microphone connections, so I don't have to swap out the audio components from one helmet to the other. So you know, depending on how this maiden voyage goes, I'll go ahead and set up this one for my normal moto vlogging. I did get a chin mounts connection, so I won't have to do what I did with my original bell, hooking up all of those connectors. So we'll have a nice clean chin mount. We'll have a second set of Purple Panda connections on the inside, you know, the mics and associated adapters to hook it up to Hero 11. But yeah, let's get geared up, see how this thing performs. Yeah, the Suomy passed the vibe test. It's normally a good sign when you got all that bug splatter on your visor. Just came back from the first ride. Yeah, I really like this new helmet. Okay, so I'm back from my first ride with the Suomy helmet, and yeah, I'm very pleased. Couldn't be happier with the helmet. This is going to be my new everyday riding helmet. So what I need to do is put my chin mount on this helmet, and then I'll also install the audio capture components that I need. Get the Purple Panda microphone and connections, and install that in this helmet, similar to what I've already done for this Bell helmet. So yeah, I'll leave, you know, all this mounting hardware up to my original Bell, so if I ever want to switch out, I can. The Ruroc I'll just leave as a regular helmet. So sometimes I just want to go for a ride, and often what I'll do is just grab the Ruroc, not even worry about moto vlogging or any camera components, and so that kind of helps make that decision for me when I just want to go out myself in the bike. I'll take the Ruroc. But back to the Suomy, I'm really pleased with this helmet. So I wanted to make a follow-up video because I just came for the ride while my impressions were pretty fresh. So it does vent a lot of air. While I was riding, I did wind up shutting that brow vent. I didn't mess with the two top vents, which you can control independently, but this was flowing a lot of air. Next time I take it out, what I may do is also close that chin mount. It wasn't a particularly warm day today. It was 60, 65, but this helmet seems like it could work even in really hot temperatures. It really flowed a lot of air, so it was pretty comfortable, and it was really light. So maybe I'll try to get some measurements, some weight measurements on all three at some point, but just kind of a general impression, this helmet felt very light. The other thing I did like about this helmet is the construction, the way it's constructed. This chin bar, I had lots of room, so I didn't feel like my face was kind of getting real close up to the front of the helmet. I do get that sensation a bit with this Ruroc Atlas 1. I believe the front is a bit flatter, but with this one the shape is perfect. The other thing, super important, is visibility. So I had great visibility with the Suomy helmet. Also this not really aftermarket, but this optional tinted visor was great, worked well in the sun, didn't have any issues, very clear. One of the things I noticed is I have to give it a little bit of force to click it in place. I'm quite sure that latching mechanism will kind of lighten up over time. But yeah, the Suomy is the new Moto Maddox primary helmet. Yeah, and that was another thing I wanted to mention about the Suomy. So yeah, it's the Track-1, and it has the PinLock system already ready to go on this visor. It's one of the things I didn't mention. It even comes with a few lenses that you can pop on. Like I mentioned before, Suomy sponsors the 2023 MotoGP World Champion, Francesco Bagnaia. And so if I have any folks looking at this from Italy, mi dispiace di non parlare italiano. So yeah, Pecco has been wearing this Suomy, so lots of you know, race inspired technology and features are trickling down to some of these consumer helmets. So this Suomy, I know many folks may not be familiar with it, but yeah, it's the new Moto Maddox helmet for this riding season.